welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Annie and I am currently 24 weeks pregnant with my second baby boy. If you are new here, I am keeping updates and track on my second pregnancy. It's something I always wanted to do with Benji, but I just never did. But this time I realized that I missed out by not keeping track of my pregnancy with Benjamin, so here I am keeping track now. And one of the funnest videos that I enjoy watching are baby name videos because they just give you great ideas. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my top 15 baby boy names. I decided not to do girl names because we're not having a girl, but if this video does well, I might potentially do my favorite girl names, but we'll see. So I have a list right here of 15 boy names that we love but will not be using. No, new baby's name is not on the list. I wouldn't do that. With Benjamin, we waited to tell people what the name was until after he was born, so we're leaning towards doing that again. Some of these names aren't necessarily names we've thought of for first names, but they are names that we thought of for potentially like middle names. So, but they could all be used for first names. But I am someone who likes old-fashioned names, like mid-century names, not anything quite unique, but maybe unique for the times. I like to go for more old-timey, sentimental names. Like if a name has a meaning to us, I tend to use that as well. Like Benjamin was named after his grandpa, so Chase's dad's name is Benjamin. I'm going to share what the names are, why we're choosing not to go with them, and kind of like why we like them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in. So the first name that we have on our list is a name that we highly thought about for a first name for this baby but decided against, but it's the name Henry. I don't know a lot of Henrys. I don't know why we love this name. This was kind of just like a random name. It doesn't have any really meaning behind it, but we both love the name, and honestly we'll probably end up using it for another boy if we end up having another boy. I just think it's such a simple, old, classic name, and it just works for like any kid. Like Henry is just such a cute name. I just love that name so much. But so that is the first name we won't be going with. The second name is a family name, but funny enough, when I was pregnant with Benji, two people that I'm fairly close with, my mom's stepson, so my stepbrother's wife and him got pregnant, and they named their child this, and then one of my best friends also was pregnant at the time, and they're all within like 3 weeks of each other. But it's the name Leo. So this is actually a family name in Chase's family. It's a name that we thought about a little bit, maybe for like a middle name. I don't think it's ever a name we thought like first name wise, but it is a really beautiful classic name, and yeah, we just really like that one. But we won't be using it. We probably never will because we just know so many Leos now. The next one is kind of weird because I don't think a lot of people would think to use it nowadays, and it sounds very presidential. It's the name Ulysses. I just think that's such a unique name. Like, no, I don't know any Ulysses. Like, I don't know anyone who's named Ulysses anymore. We decided not to go with this name as of now. It's not a name that we're ruling out in the future though. Okay, this is a name I fought for. I love this name. I'm kind of disappointed we're not going with it, but we just love the name that we are using so much that we aren't going with it. But this definitely is a contender if we have another boy. It's the name Quincy. This one has a little bit of meaning to us because my brother's name is Quentin, and it would kind of resemble his name and being named after him if we ever did have another boy. My brother and I are really close, and we're really close in age, so I just thought like Quincy, to be an homage towards him, would be really cute. And I also just really love the name Quincy. It's so cute, but definitely probably will end up using it in the future. But yeah, it's just one of those like classic names that doesn't always seem classic because I think it is pretty common nowadays, but like it is a classic name. So the next one we do and we don't like. I really like it, but I don't see us ever using it. It's the name Harvey. I don't know where that came from. I don't really know why we like it. It's on my list. I think it's kind of a unique name, and it has a similar, like, similar sound to Henry, but not. I don't really know where it came from, honestly. But Harvey, I think it sounds pretty. It sounds like kind of classic. Harvey. We probably won't ever use this name, but it's definitely a name that I like and I think sounds cool. So a couple of names on here we're not using for a certain reason, and that reason being we know animals named the name. So we actually have a cat named this, and I hate that we named our cat this, because fast forwarding to the future, I'm like, dang it, that would have been such a cute little boy's name. But it's the name Theodore, or Theo for short. I don't know, when we got our cat, I was like, Theodore, that's so pretty. That's such a cute, like, because we like give our cats human names. I don't know what that's about. But in hindsight, I'm like, why did I name our cat a name that I would have used for a child? Because now I'm sitting here like, I don't have a ton of names that I would love to use realistically, but Theodore is just one of those really classic, beautiful, pretty, timeless names that, like, I wish we could name our kid now, but it just, you know, it just ruins it a little bit. I can't have like a kid Theodore and a cat Theodore. The next one is also ruined because it's a pet name. It is the name of my brother's cat. The name is Oliver. I love this name, Oliver. That's just so pretty, but also it is really widely used right now, so I wouldn't probably use it anyway. But Oliver, it's just such a pretty classic name, and it's the name of my brother's cat. I'm obviously not going to name my child the same thing as my brother's cat, so we won't be using that name either. The next name is, again, a family name, I think, on Chase's side. It's the name Gilbert. I never thought about this one for a first name. I think that would be kind of a weird first name, especially like nowadays. But it would be such a pretty middle name. And it's one that we really thought about for Benjamin Gilbert. It's definitely not a very widely used name anymore, I don't think. But it is one that we really did think about. The next one is one I love, but my husband does not. I think this name is so pretty. It's the name Simon. I think it's such a pretty name. Simon is such a pretty name, and it just sounds good, but my husband wasn't on board, so it probably wasn't one that would have been a first contender for me anyway, but it's on my list. I think it's pretty. Another cat name that we won't be using. This is my brother's old cat named Franklin. I love the name Franklin. If you are on TikTok, you've probably seen that baby Franklin. So cute. We love that name. It's such like a classic name. Probably one we wouldn't ever use anyway, but again, we were just like, can't really name our baby after someone else's animal. You can. That's so dumb. Like, it's just my own thoughts. Like, you can definitely name your kid a name. Like, it doesn't matter, but it just like ruins it for me. Like, even knowing someone with a certain name ruins a name for me. If I like, even if I like that person, I'm just like, well, I can't name my kid that because they have that name, or they're using that name, or they've named their kid that name. I don't know. I'm just weird about names, I guess. The next two names I won't be using, but I love one in particular. I'm not ruling out, I'm just saying, but they are my cousins' names. My aunt on my dad's side, so my dad's sister, named her children these names, and they're just, I get why she did. They're so pretty, they're so classic. But the first one is Charles, and then we would probably call him Charlie for short. I love it. Like, that is the most classic name in the world. Charles, that's so pretty, but I don't want to name my baby after like such a close relative. And then the next one is one that I'm not ruling out. I don't care. I love it enough that we might use it, but it's kind of ruined in two different ways for me, because it is my cousin's name, and then is also the name of my mom's dog, which just annoys me because anytime I'm like talking to my mom on the phone, she's like yelling this name. But it's the name Maxwell. Oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. Like, it's so classic, Maxwell. So I'm not ruling this one out. Like, I don't care. I could know someone horrible and have this name, and I wouldn't rule it out because I love this name so much. But I don't think we'd ever use it for a first name. I think we would still use it for just a middle name, so if that changes anything. But Maxwell is so pretty to me. I just can't roll it out. The next one is a really special family name, actually. It is Chase's dad's middle name. It's the name Lewis, but spelled Louis. So I think it's really pretty. I'm on board with Chase. He really likes this name. Again, if we end up having another boy, we might consider using this one again, just depending on like what it sounded good with. So like we would use it for a middle name, we wouldn't use it for a first name, but like if the first name sounded really good with this as a middle name that we use, we would consider it for sure. Another name we both considered has no meaning, random. It's actually the name of the town we live in, the name Lincoln. I think it's a fairly common name, but again, like it's kind of a classic name, kind of old school. I don't know if we would use it because we have other names we like more, and also it's the town we live in, so that would maybe be kind of weird, but I still think it's a pretty name. So Lincoln, I don't know, still pretty. And then the final name that Chase cannot get on board with, but I love, this is for sure a mid-century classic name, like very, very old school, the name Benedict. I don't know why, I love that name. I love the name Benedict. I also have to say, for girls' names, I really like the name Bernadette. Chase won't get on board with me with that either, but those like really bad names I love. We will never be using that one unless we have like 7 boys. Like I can't think of a reason to use the name Benedict, but I think it's really, really pretty. Thank you for sticking around for this probably fairly short video. I love watching these, and I hope you guys loved watching mine too, and I hope you got some great ideas from my video. I think my list is pretty typical. I think these are all fairly popular names right now, but they're definitely names I love and have like good meaning, I think. But if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing down below. I would love to have you guys here. Comment down below again if you'd like. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed filming this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!